This is Tanya Brown, your spiritual business coach, and I am very excited for this topic today because I'm just going to put it out there. This could be a trigger warning for some of you. So before we get started, don't forget to like this video. It helps my algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already following me because you're alerted to when I put out new content. And don't forget to share this with somebody that you feel could be of value. And also don't forget to stay to the end because I have a little surprise. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to share how to get rid of toxic people in your life and be able to MarieKondo when it comes to your friends and family. And by that, I mean to purge, get rid of things that do not bring you joy. Here is the thing. So many of us have friends, family, acquaintances in your life, and they're there because of circumstance. And you find that when you're in their proximity, when you're in their energy, you start to feel a shift. You start to feel a negative vibration starting. It could be before you even get in their vicinity. It could be as you're prepping to go to this dinner and you start to feel that level of dread and anxiety because you could already feel what's coming. And by that, it's these, and I hate to use the word toxic, but sometimes there's no other better word. I had a girlfriend years ago, and I would spend a lot of time with her, and I always checked in with myself. And by checked in with myself, I mean thought about how did I feel after we were together. I noticed that every time we were together afterwards, I would feel like, oh God, it was a level of negative energy that just it was like a succubus. It just attached itself to me, like a vampire, just kind of feeding. And this was after we would have dinner or drinks or go to a movie. It would be like on the way home, and it was just like, oh, what? Like all the stuff that she would put out there would just be so negative. And I didn't realize this until, again, many issues, many episodes where one day I would just, matter of fact, it was a combination of a story that I shared with her, and her response triggered me. And it triggered me in a way that I was like, okay, this isn't normal. Here's the thing. I did a trip to Italy years ago with some friends, and we had this amazing experience at the Vatican. Whereas we were disappointed in one aspect, and just to kind of give you a quick summary of this, I'm Catholic, my friends are Catholic, we were excited, we're going to Italy. Specifically, we went to Rome, Florence, and Venice. And when in Rome, we literally had such an itinerary of amazing things we were going to do. I'm just excited thinking about this because I'm going to go back again. In Rome, we were definitely going to go see the Vatican. In our minds, this was like the Mecca. For Catholics, not that I'm Italian in any way, shape, or form, other than food. I love Italian food. I was just kind of like, it was like coming home, for for a Catholic person to go there. Matter of fact, when I went to Ireland, I kind of felt the same way because there's so many Catholics there. It was just like some kind of homecoming, it felt. But same thing with Rome. I felt like the Catholicism and just the institution, it was just such a warm idea that, we're going to go to the Vatican, and learn about the Vatican. We booked a private tour. And just to give you an idea, the tour guides are just so well versed in at least the ones we found, and it was through an agency. We used an agency that the tour guides that we found were so well educated. It wasn't a person that had an affinity for this type of thing. It was people who studied theology or the architecture. It was that in deep. In terms of the education and the stuff that they shared. It was beyond interesting. It was fascinating, and it just made me want to learn more. And the guides were amazing, and we had these headphones so we could hear the guides as we were going around. And I remembered I was just floored by the beauty of, and I'm looking at the ceiling, like the architecture, the art, everything and listening to the guide, just kind of giving us the background. And as I was doing this, there were a ton of tour guides that were just, or not tourists that were just using their water bottles to fill up in the holy water or taking it was just, there's a certain level of disrespect that I felt in this situation as a Catholic. Like, it was like going into somebody's home and being disrespectful. That's what I felt some of the tourists, I couldn't get that word out for a minute, tourists were doing. So when we got to the gift shop, I said to my friends, I said, we should get a glass of wine after this. Because I kind of felt dejected with again, beautiful, it's the Vatican, it's gorgeous, amazing stories, but it was the level of disrespect from the tourists that were using it, just being inappropriate, leaving trash and things of that nature. That's what I meant about somebody coming into your home and being disrespectful. I felt that some of the tourists that I saw were being disrespectful to the Vatican, in my opinion. So when we got to the gift shop, I said, why don't we go get a glass of wine after this? Thinking, we can change our moods over lunch. Plus, the Italian food, like, amazing. So as I said that, the nun who was ringing up my friend said, I've got something for you. And I'm thinking, well, maybe she misunderstood. I don't know. It wasn't clear she was talking to us. So when she finished ringing up everything, she said, you come. It's like, a nun telling us to follow her? I'm like, sure. Went up a flight of stairs, and this cute little old lady hikes up her habit, and she's like sprinting up the stairs, and we're following her. And she takes us into like a private den. And I'm like nervous. I'm thinking, well, maybe I should help her. And I'm like, no, if she needs help, she'll ask. And she said, dear, could you help me with this bottle? It's like, okay. I helped her open a bottle of wine, and she gave us each a glass and toasted us. And then as we were leaving, she basically gave us like a souvenir. And I'm like, okay, a nun at the Vatican is telling me to steal. She's like, okay, you hide. It was a little plate that had the prior Pope's image. It was a beautiful gift. And she was like, you take, hide. And I'm like, a nun is telling me to steal? I'm Catholic. Of course I signed up for this. I've got permission. So when we were leaving, I said, I'm sorry. I've got to give you a hug. And we both gave her a hug, and it was such a beautiful moment of having a dejected, like I had a vision of what my day was going to be like, going to this storied, historical, going to the Vatican. No other words. I mean, the mind-blowing. And to be dejected from the energy of the tourists that I felt were being disrespectful, to only get such love and light from this, in my opinion, angel, that nun who turned our day around by doing such a simple but kind and loving gesture. And when I shared this with my friend, she said, do you think she did that for everybody? And the thing was, when she said that to me, I was kind of stunned and then it hit me later on. I'm like, she has a tendency to do that. I could tell her an amazing story, like, oh my God, I just won the lottery. Oh God, you're going to be so taxed on that, Tanya. Like, she would find something negative in beauty. Like, she would look for that. And when I circled back and I started to think of all the times that she would take something beautiful or kind or happy and put her negative spin on it. And how, when I spent time with her, I didn't feel better. I felt worse. Her negative energy would spread to me. And I'm a bit of an empath, and that's not unusual. So many of us are. But I pick up people's energy. And that just showed me being very particular about whose energy that I want to be around. Again, I'm a psychic and clairvoyant, so my clients kind of pick me, or my guides kind of pick my clients for me. So I don't have that much selection when it comes to the clients that I work with in terms of who books me. I am lucky in the regard that I work with amazing people. But I've had instances where somebody will book me and I will feel that energy. I had a client, this was, God, about within the last year, that every question, it was literally like a Ponzi scheme-ish kind of a thing that she was trying to help me help her on. And it was involving all these legal court cases that she had. And I remembered for the first time ever, I said, you know what? We're not a good fit. I'm going to refund you the money. I wish you well. And I'm going to stop right now. Because I did, and when I got off the phone, off Zoom, I got out the sage and got rid of the energy. But it was just, I did not want to be a party of this criminal thing. And again, I'm just projecting, because if you're somebody who's under the age of 30 and you're suing like at least 10 people, and you want to find out how each case is going to go, and it was just like, okay, there's a lot going on wrong here, and I don't want to be privy to it. But my point is, some of us are empaths, and as empaths, you have to be cognizant of the energy you put yourself around. Things happen, but when they do, and when you are clear on what that energy is, getting yourself away from it. And that's what I mean about MarieKondo in your life. I love her statement of MarieKondo's statement of focusing on things that bring you joy. Now, here's the thing. I'm not her client because I love stuff. I have lots of stuff. I like collecting stuff. I'm a bit of a hoarder, though I do throw things out, but I have a lot of things that bring me joy. Shopping brings me joy. That being said, when it comes to getting rid of things that don't bring me joy, I'm very acute and cognizant of getting people out of my life that do not bring me joy. And this is one of the first people that person that I cognitively was aware that I was doing this with. And once I did do that, I started to realize, well, wait, all these other people that I hang out with, I need to hang out with more. I feel good when I'm spending time with them. I feel good hours later when I'm thinking about the funny thing that they said or the plans we made for the next time. But again, it's about putting yourself around people who bring you joy. And for those people who are toxic, sometimes they don't even know they're toxic. That's the scary thing about it. They don't realize the effect they have on people. And sometimes there are certain people who have a tendency to be negative, but they don't see themselves as being negative. And I'm not making a judgment statement, but it's about, and again, going back to my videos, focusing on your mindset. We have a ridiculous amount of thoughts that go through our mind in 1 minute. Being cognizant of what is on your mind, what's on that broken record or on that CD or on that roll, to change the narrative. I am a work in progress. I am not perfect in any way, shape, or form. But one of the things that really changed the game for me was me spending time focusing on the things that are on my mind. And again, it's as simple as just being alert, writing down notes of the things that are constantly on that broken record in your mind, of the things that you wake up thinking of and the things you go to bed thinking of. And this is a quick, just not to get off target for a minute, but the easiest way for you to do that, sorry, I'm messing up with the lighting, but the easiest way for you to do that is spend one day. I mean, I did a week, but spend one day from the minute you get up to the minute you go to bed, just making notes on you can just do it on your phone or on a notepad, whatever brings you joy. And just write down the things that are constantly on a reel on your mind. And you'll be very surprised on the way that you do that. So sometimes when you're focusing on getting the toxic people out of your life, focus on the toxic person that's in your mind first. Now, when you do this, again, after a day, just put down the list, focus on the list that you have that you constantly have on a loop, and then change it, flip the switch. If you have, oh, I'm so fat, I change that to I have a very strong and healthy body. Or, that's, it's just so dumb. No, I'm very inquisitive and I love to learn. But it's about changing, reframing the things and the words that you say to yourself and realizing words have power. The more you do this, and I literally do this without thought now, I will say that's not helping me. Yeah, that's not, okay, let me go back. Let me rephrase that. And I do it so many times, or have done it so many times, and trust me, it's not worked. I've done it so many times that my mind will go to the positive place, or my mind will auto-correct itself. If I am thinking something that may not be positive, ooh, yeah, that's not helping. But again, the getting rid of the toxic people can start with your own mind, because making your mindset, your mental health, healthy for you. And it's not healthy if it's bringing negative things to you. I can't tell you how many coaches that I work with that they're their worst client. And I say that lovingly, because the things that they say to themselves or the way they treat themselves, they would never treat a client that way. So start from within, focusing on your mindset, and then start looking outward at the people around you, the people who take up space in your life. And you want to make sure that the people who are in your life that are taking up space are kind, positive, and supportive. I am incredibly grateful for the friends and the family that I have in my life. But it's by design. I've imagined and amassed a collective of amazing people that are there for me and incredibly supportive. And during this past year, quarantine, the virus, all this stuff, it's allowed us a lot of time to think and think about where we want to be, next year around this time, where we want to be in the next year, in the next 6 months, who we want to be around us, especially when we're in the process of getting the vaccine and getting out of this situation and getting back to our normal life. Our normal life is not going to look the same as it did before, and that's good. It's about growing and changing and, evolving. You're not the same person you were a year ago. Some of us are more loving, some of us are more patient, some of us are more kind, some of us are more introspective, and that's all good. But again, as we grow and change, we want to be clear about the people who are around us are moving at the same pace and the same going in the same direction. And if you find your friends and family are not moving in that direction, that's fine for them. But if they're toxic and unhelpful in your growth and in your movement, then it's not good for you. So it's about getting rid of those in your life that don't bring you joy and being unapologetic about that. So as always, oh, and that's the other thing. I am excited to be sharing with you that so many of you contacted me privately, clients that I've worked with that want to take this to the next level. They want to tap into their own gift, their own spirituality, and be able to learn how to do this. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. In the future, everybody is going to be more in tune and more tapped in and connected. But it's all about you starting to make those movements. And here in my private Facebook group, which I'm going to put the link to below, is where you get started. I'm going to be putting together a program shortly, and I'm getting together everybody who is interested in doing so. So this is about those who are interested in spirituality. You want to start your own spiritual awakening. You want to tap into your gifts and more. This is where you do it. This is a judgment-free zone. We're going to have fun. It's not even work. I mean, honestly, I love doing what I do. As a psychic, I never know what I'm going to get. Every reading's not going to be like amazing and spectacular. Some of them are. Some of them are just the facts, and that's okay. So again, it's in this private Facebook group. I look forward to seeing you there. And I look forward to working with you moving forward. And as always, don't forget to like this video if you haven't already done that. And don't forget to subscribe. I put up weekly content. And don't forget to comment in the comment section. How do you feel about getting rid of the toxic people in your life and doing a whole MarieKondo thing with people, not things? I'd love to hear from you. So as always, this is Tanya Brown, your spiritual business coach. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.